Jamie from Inky&Scrappy, back with my Let's Start Stamping series. And, you know, I pulled out some stamp sets, pulled out some paper, and let's see what we can come up with. Let's Start Stamping series is supposed to be kind of like a starter series. So if you don't have everything, don't worry about it. Pull in what you have and make it work for you. A lot of times just looking at layouts, learning, practicing your coloring, those types of things, it's really just meant for you to have fun and to get creative. So if you're not great at stamping and it takes you 5 times to get a sentiment stamped out, it's fine. That's kind of how we start, that's how we learn, and that's how we grow. So anyways, if you've been around, I did take the month of July off from my Let's Start Stamping series, but I'm not very good at taking time off, and so I ended up doing Stamp Camp for you, which aired last week if you're watching this one on, what is today, the 2nd of August, so it aired last weekend, and so there's like 12, maybe 12 episodes. 12 episodes. They are in they have their own playlist. They are also in the Let's Start Stamping series playlist, so if you're interested, go check it out. They're supposed to, on their own, you know, in their own playlist, Stamp Camp 2025, they're supposed to play in order. I don't know if they do or not. I've heard that they don't always play in order. It's YouTube. It does what it wants. Anyways, I was, you know, stamp camping, and what do you do when you're camping? But you make s'mores. So I thought it would be fun to make a s'more card today. So I have different options for s'mores. Lawn Fawn has the Sweet Friends stamp set, which has the s'more in it that's a little bit bigger. They also have the S'more the Merrier set, which is no longer made for Essentials by Ellen. They actually have it in their lineup for the Lawn Fawn. So that one would have some more options as well. And if you like die cutting and not as much stamping, they do have this little guy that is, he's all die cut and pieced back together. He may be in my bucket of things I'm supposed to find a card front for. You know, so those are all options, right? There's plenty of different ones out there. I think we're going to use the Sweet Friends today, but keep in mind you could definitely build s'mores with like some of those objects and use the little one in there. There's options available. And so I'm bringing in Doodle Bug Designs, the Pumpkin Spice paper pack today, and I pulled out these 3 for my pattern papers or my paper colors. I think I'm going with this side on them all. Keep in mind, if you did Stamp Camp, you could definitely do this one in like that 12 series and go that route. Right now I pulled out this one and this one for, this one's for my chocolate E340 and E280. This is using the Ohuhu Oahu set, so it's the fine nib stamp or markers. I just try to keep with the 60 color set and the 36 skin tone add-on. I'll probably bring in maybe E191 for the marshmallow in there. But I mean, truthfully, my marshmallow tends to be the 120 black because I like it. And then it's got some flames because that's how I like to make my marshmallows. I love burnt sugar. Does anyone else have that problem? That's my favorite. My favorite is burnt sugar. Anyways, let's get started. So I'm going to stamp this one out a few times and then go from there. So I like the little arms and the legs that you can add and the little faces that you can add to your little sweet treats here. The thing is, I don't have a die set for this one, so if we decide to, I'm gonna add those, I think, but I'm gonna add them right onto my cardstock bases, and then we're just gonna put this on top of it because I'm pretty sure that's how the die set works. So that's how we're going to, I think, do this one. I'm gonna stamp this one out 2 times or 3 times. Let's go 3 times, and if I decide I need a third one, I'll have it stamped already and it won't take very long. So I'm going to pick this up with my stamping platform. If you have a stamping block, that works as well. And then I'm just going to move this up. Instead of moving my stamp, I'm just going to make sure that I have enough space here in between them. And I'm just going to stamp kind of in this is how I do my multiple stamps. I leave the stamp and I just kind of move the piece of paper. It's why I really like the Artemio. I don't know if I said it right, but the stamp platform, because it doesn't have a top or a bottom that I have to worry about my paper fitting in. And so it makes doing repetitive stamping a lot easier, or faster, quicker, whatever. I am stamping with Lawn Fawn's Premium Ink Pad in Jet Black ink today. I should probably heat set. I don't know. We talked about this one, some of my girlfriends, and were talking about, I said, I'm just disappointed in how my new ink is not setting properly. And the one made the comment, well, you know, it's summer and it's been a really hot and humid summer here in Minnesota. So she's like, maybe it just hasn't dried all the way. Because usually I'll stamp it and walk away from it and then it's fine. But if I stamp it and then color it, it's been picking up my ink, which is not normal. And so, valid point, right? Like, I guess. So, for the Floridians or people that are in heavier dew, I don't know, heavier humidity climate, I guess, do you find that as an issue? I said I was going to pull out a color and I didn't pull it out because that would have been like, you know, being on top of things, right? Let's see. I said I was going to go with, which one? This is WG 140, no, E191, possibly. E191 is already out and I just don't know where it is. Not there. It's not where it's supposed to be. Alright, I will find a different color. Or maybe it's over here. Somebody needs to put markers away. Yeah, that's me. Okay. Alright. So for this one, I'm coming in with brown gray. It does not look brown, or it looks brown-ish, but does not look gray whatsoever. But it's kind of an okay graham cracker. Sorry, I couldn't find the word for graham cracker. Wow. It's an okay graham cracker color. The other one I like for graham cracker color would be, I want to say hazelnut maybe. It's a lighter one that kind of goes. Now, I'm gluten-free, so graham crackers for me, I like the gluten-free ones. Some of them are better than the others. But I don't do them very often. So a lot of times I will make cookies and then we do cookies. You know, like chocolate chip cookies work just fine as the top and or the bottom of your s'mores. What else have we used for s'mores? I'll use pretty much anything. I'm not too picky. When I could do gluten, but we do, like the boys still do all of those things. The Keebler Elf, like fudgekins, is it fudgekins, where it's like the cookie and then they're chocolate on the bottom? Yeah, those worked too, because then you didn't have to have that extra piece of chocolate. The thin Reese's work there for chocolate. Then you get the peanut butter and the chocolate. Yes, please. Ba-da-ba. I can't do regular marshmallows anymore either. I still love s'mores. I have to get the corn-free ones, which, yeah, whatever, right? Life is difficult when you can't just grab the cheap ingredients to do s'mores. You have to go all extra on it. So I'm just coming in, I'm just going to use my one color blend today. So just layering up the levels of ink. And a lot of times working on multiple images makes this a little bit easier because it allows that ink to seep in and dry in between layers. And that way, using one marker, you still get the look of highlights and lowlights and extra tone. But you really just used one marker, which you're just layering that translucent ink on top and making it. That second layer is going to be darker, of course, than the first layer. If you feel your colors are getting streaky, try to work wet on wet when you're doing your final layer. I hope that makes sense. So don't go over it and then let it dry and then kind of streak across it again. I hope that makes sense. But so if I'm going this way, I want to work wet on wet. So I want to go layer it over the top, so I'm not going to have. And the other thing to do is doing the circles is also going to give you, you're layering a lot of ink right on top of each other, but you can go back and do a second, more, I guess, concentrated layer on top of that one, and you will get that darker and lighter tone. So if you see you're getting streakies, like you get in the lines and you can see that and you don't like it, especially in larger images, try to go with the swirling motion on your tip, and that will help. Of course, the brush tip is going to help a little bit more with that than the little tip, especially for bigger images. So keep that in mind. Those are my, I don't know, I guess those are my tips for you on coloring today. So I'm coming in with that lighter cream colored one just to kind of give a little bit of highlight here. And I'll do that on all three of these, but then I'm going to come in and add some toasty marks, I think, because need some toasty marks. So let's see what are my ink color options. I mean, if I was doing an honest representation, I should have done like fire on there. But let's come in with, I don't want to use it E40 because that's what we use for the chocolate. So I'm going to use E390 or 367, which is the caramel color, and maybe the E477, which is Morin, I think. And I'm just gonna kind of add some dots on there, maybe some patches. I kind of like the dots better though. We'll just do some dots of the lighter one on this one. I'm trying to keep in mind that I want to add little faces on my marshmallow hearts later, so I don't want to do too dark in there. I do want to add some dark to that one though. I could go 644 maybe. I want to add like some burnt marks. Let's try that one. these ones and kind of add darker, kind of blend in with that mid-tone there. And there we go. So there are my marshmallows. Definitely more my speed because it's probably, maybe, was on fire. But if I can't set it on fire and I have to make it for someone else, it's probably like that or still light because, well, you're just going to eat a not very melted marshmallow. There are the colors I used for my s'mores. I am just going to hand cut these out today. I will cut one on camera and then I'll shut the camera off and cut the other ones out. So for these, I'm actually gonna cut them close to the line, if not on the line. I don't like cutting right on the line, but I'm trying to leave a very thin border just because I know I want to do that little body thing, or like little arms and legs, and I don't want them to like cover up the arms and legs. So, and this one is a fairly easy image because it's a lot of straight lines, or, you know, straight cuts and not a lot of curve. So just a matter of kind of lining it up with my scissors and making the cut. And rounding this one down a little bit. But so fairly easy on the cut today, so I'll cut the other ones out and then we'll get back to the rest of the card. So I have my images cut out and I'm just kind of flipping through my past ones that we've done, ones that I've laid out and haven't actually gotten to, trying to find some ideas for my actual layout. I kind of like this one. I'll probably switch it up a lot, but I just like that kind of, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Longer layout with maybe, you know, I don't think I'm gonna go that extra, but I kind of like that layout. So let's bring in our pieces of paper. You know, you can go kind of see how big they are, how far they're gonna lay out. It's kind of, I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet, so there's that. So I was planning on using this one as my background piece because I plan on doing the other ones kind of on top of it. So this one I just figured, do I want it this way or do I want it that way? So I'm going to cut this one at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That is going to be my base piece. Now for my other two pieces, I was kind of thinking this is the sky and this is the floor. Kind of, you know, kind of sort of like just in my head. That's kind of what I was thinking. So I think I'm going to do this one as, I'm trying to think how wide this one. So let's close that up. So if you look at it this way, and I'm just going to kind of set these on there to kind of give me a measurement. Here we go. So I'm going to set them on there to kind of just give me a measurement. So if we start at, even if we started at 1, okay? So if we started at 1, we go across. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, like 3.5 inches wide for sure. Maybe even 4 inches wide. So I kind of want to keep that into consideration when I'm cutting down my piece. Maybe I can do this one at 4. Let's see, if we go 5 1/2. So if we go by 5, we go 4 3/4 wide. So let's do this one at 4 3/4 wide. And we're just going to go an inch and 1/2 on this one. So for this one, you can either cut it, multiple. So what did we say? 4 3/4. We're gonna go 4 3/4 wide. I'm gonna go this one a little bit bigger just to kind of give me this step here. I don't want it to be that big, but I want to give me a little bit of a step there because this one's just gonna be my background piece. So let's go with 5 on this one. I'm just winging it. If it looks like I, you know, was a little off, well, then I'm a little off. So I'm gonna go with this one at 3 inches. Well, let's go 2. If we go 2.5, let's go 3. I can always cut some off, right? It's hard to glue back on. So let's go 3 inches. 3 inches. Because I'm thinking if we go this way, 3. Pop this one down here, and then we can pop our little dudes and dudettes here. Maybe I should move that one up a little bit. Let's find our base piece. So I could probably go, yeah, we can probably leave it like this and then do a sentiment maybe over the top. We could definitely trim it down a little bit on each of them. So let's trim 1 inch off of this one. So this one, we started it at 5. Let's go down to, I don't want to do full inch, do I? Let's go 4.5. And then this one, let's go down to 4 inches. That gives me 1/4 inch on each side of this one to kind of pop it down here and bring it out a little bit. I think I like that better. So there we have that one. And yeah, we have some little extra strips. That's okay. We can, we have scraps for another card. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so these ones go here. Let's do some gluing. So I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna put this piece onto that piece first. Now I'm not gonna add any dimension to this one at this point because I'm gonna have to, I want to stamp, if you remember, oh, I didn't have to add that much glue either. I want to add the little arms and legs on there yet, right? So I'm gonna glue this to this piece first, and then I didn't push it down, so I'm gonna pick up that whole piece, and then I'm gonna add glue. So probably don't add glue to that bottom part. Do as I say, not as I do. And I'm gonna keep the glue just a little bit away from the edge, just in case I decide to tuck some things underneath there, like my sketch kind of had. There was like some text options in there. And so I want to be able to tuck things, possibly. So I'm going to add this one onto the base here. Now we have, you know, like multitudes of extra little pieces, right? So this is where you could add, like tuck some of those little pieces in there if you wanted to. That would be kind of cute hanging out off to the side. Those types of things. It depends what's on the back side, of course. If I was doing coffee cups, you could definitely do that. Okay, my little critters. They're not really critters. My little sweet friends. And we're gonna bring in this guy here. And I think if we put them up there, we can do the sentiment maybe on the bottom. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You could definitely put another piece of paper on top of this. You could make a white border for it if you wanted to. I think I'm just gonna go with it and call it good. You could have shrunk it down a little bit if you felt it had too much head space and bottom space. We'll see how it turns out. So I'm not worried about it gonna be being directly in the middle, but I kind of want it close to the middle. I'm just gonna eyeball it. As I do most of those things, it's a little off center, but here we go. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit because this dude, if I go this way, you can maybe see it. This dude is gonna kind of sit, and it's just that the arms and the legs are gonna be like popping out. So I kind of want this one sitting on there. Well, actually, if we put this one up a little bit, and then I can put the other two down a little bit, and it'll kind of give a rounded impression, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to set him pretty close to the top. And I'm going to bring in the VersaFine Onyx Black for this one, just because I want it to stamp well. And I really, you know, if you're doing it with a block, that VersaFine Onyx Black is going to stamp the best the first time. And the other thing is, I'm not coloring over it, so I don't need to worry about it being alcohol marker friendly or all those things. I am going to bring in my microfiber towel and just kind of clean that up. And then I'm going to bring this one back in, and I'm going to adjust it down a little bit because I don't want them to be in a straight line across the front. I kind of want them to be scattered a little bit here. And there's that one. Kind of just keeping in mind that you're going to have an image sitting on top of it, so it might look really funny right now, but I promise it'll look okay. And then this one, kind of the same with little arms. And it's okay if they touch. I don't want it too much further down. Cleaning that stamp again in between so I don't have, when I'm trying to position it, I don't have to worry about that ink maybe getting in a spot that I don't want it to be, and then it's not going to get covered up. So I will pop that one in here. And you could definitely stamp on the background if you wanted to put your sentiment on there. So this one comes with 3 little kind of cheeky faces. So do I want to put my, I was going to kind of pop up, I was thinking about popping these up. So I'm going to pull this one out. Whoops. I'm going to pop these 3 in. And I'm going to do them all at the same time because I have 3 different ones. So I'm just going to hold down the top and the bottom on some of these. Here we go. And then just kind of add in my cheeky little faces here. We'll have the winky one. So we have a winky face, the little tongue sticking out face. And we'll just do the really big grin with the closed eyes. And I'm just going to try to center them as best as I can. Are they centered? Probably not perfectly, but they're close. And this you could definitely do with a little stamp block, would probably be fast and easy too. And if you weren't going to pop them up, you could definitely do them right on your card base once your little images are added on top. So now we'll pull this one in, and I need to find my foam pieces. somebody may have cleaned her desk off, but not really cleaned her desk off because I can't find anything. Okay. I'm just cutting, this is craft foam. Sticky on one side maybe? Okay, only sticky on one side. So it's probably craft foam with one side that has adhesive. I'll just use the glue on the other side. Kind of the same with the red one. It's just what it is. Where's my other one? I threw it and it flung and it ran away. So I'm going to put burnt crispy into the middle. I'm just going to add some glue on that one. And obviously the glue is going to give us a little bit of wiggle room on the lining up part. It's kind of getting them in the right little spots. And then of course add that one in, and the last one. So we have our 3 little s'mores, and where's the stamp set that's laying right in front of you? Okay. I kind of like the I need some more friends like you, I think would be cute. And just to put that on the bottom, probably go with a coordinating color cardstock for this one, probably in that orange one. I'm gonna go straight across with that one, I think, because I think I have enough room. What do I want to do? We could do the little hearts could go on there. We can add in some other little tidbits on there. Let's grab, I have to find the right rubber color paper. That one might be close. It's close. Let's see if I have a little bit more orange. And you know, we could definitely just go in with this one and use that color. Do I have a scrap? So I do have that little one. It'll coordinate and it's tone on tone, so the black is gonna stick out enough that I don't think we're gonna have an issue there with seeing it. So I'm gonna clean those ones off. These little ones tend to run away on me if I don't put them away. And let's pop this piece in here. Our sentiment here. Now I'm going to try to line it up so I can just cut it with my cutting device and not have to do a die cut. So Lawn Fawn sentiments should just butt up to each other and make your sentiment look good. You know, you can, a lot of them you can mix and match or piece them together, kind of like the Henry's ABCs. I did have one that was like misprinted, and so it's like shifted over. I have to, and they're very good about replacing things that maybe didn't print properly or come out right. I just haven't taken pictures of it yet and sent it off. It's on my list of to-dos. So there we go. We stamped that one with some VersaFine Onyx black ink again, and then we're gonna pull in our paper cutter here. And of course, the trick with this still works. Let me go. I'm gonna line this one up kind of right along there. So if you butt it up to your plate here, you have a little bit more wiggle room here because it's a smaller piece and I don't want it to wiggle too much. This will just kind of help guide it in there and hold it. It'll make that cut a little bit straighter. I mean, I'm not 100% great at getting straight cuts, but it definitely helps if you have a little bit of space to hold on to. You could definitely cut it down beforehand and then stamp on it, but I like doing it this way usually better. I think we're a little crooked there, but it'll be okay. Will I be crooked or it might be my eyes? I don't know. It's about this, you know, one and the same, right? Is it a little crooked or is it my eyes? It's probably a little bit of both. Okay. So I'm going to put this one, just going to layer that one underneath there. It's really not that off because looking at my pattern, it looks pretty good. Okay. Do I want to add, I could definitely add a little piece in here. Just kind of do the little flap hanging out. It'll give it a little bit of interest. Let's see what else was on. Oh, I had a little text piece coming in here, but we could just do it this way. Let's go this way. I'm just looking at my layout. So it's not exactly the same as this one, right? Because I don't have a strip all the way across the bottom, which is fine. But I did have this little, it had text on it, but it doesn't have to be text. It can just literally be another piece of pattern paper off to the top. So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to flag it. Cutting in from one side and then cutting in from the other side to the center point. If you fold it in half, you'll get a better center point, but I'm fine with this one. I think I'm just gonna kind of hang it out there. The other thing is just to rip it and make it a ripped edge, which would be cute as well. You can't see the one because it's like the same color orange as the background paper. Go figure. Alrighty. So that one's there. Let's see. What are my other patterns? That's all kind of the same. Okay. So there we have that one, and let's just add a couple of little brown clay hearts. So the clay hearts I picked up on Etsy. You know, they're just clay bits. I'm sure Trinity Stamps has them. If you're looking, you can even just do little die cut hearts. I think I have some of those too. I just cut a whole bunch of like little brown heart die cut pieces. I mean, these ones would probably work too. Go that route. I think these were supposed to be meant for a coffee bean shaker filler. But we could definitely just use those there instead of the clay hearts. Which ones do I like better? I kind of like the big chunky ones. That, or we could go over on that side. Oh, I kind of like that better almost. Okay, so we're just going to add these in. And these are just probably die cut pieces from other things. Let's see. I'm guessing heart border die maybe. I don't know. I have a bunch of, sometimes I will buy a die set just because the punch outs are so good. Like I have a couple that are just hearts that have like hearts on top of hearts on top of hearts, and then like it's a beautiful heart doily shape, but when you cut it out you get heart confetti, and so I use it as such. Alright, so I think we're good there, and then this one will just pop onto card base. Let's trim that down again. Well, I mean, half of the ones that I had pre-cut for me will save me time because they'll be a little under 5.5 inches wide, right? Okay. Then I'm going to pop this one on top of my card base, and I just need to do an inside. So let's see here. I need some more friends like you. You're the sweetest probably would work. I was going to do an envelope, but I don't have any sitting here. So I will just do the "You're the Sweetest" on the inside. I'm going to pull off this one and stamp that part first because I want to do that one in a brown tone ink, but I also want to kind of tuck it in just a little bit closer. So, where's my rag? And then I'm just going to tuck this one in a lot closer here. I could do vintage sepia on this one. I think I want to go a little bit lighter though, so I'm going to do some tea dye. I could do oxide or I could do the regular. I guess it wouldn't matter. I have both of them. I'm going to say the other one is like right on my desk. That's why I couldn't find it up in my folder. So this one kind of has the tea dye to me is, if you're in watercolor, tea dye and graham cracker. Perfect color. So You're the Sweetest. And I'm just going to leave it like that. And there's the inside. And so there's the outside. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Check out Stamp Camp if you haven't. If you have ideas of stamp sets you would like me to use, techniques you'd like me to cover, let me know. I'm always looking for inspiration from, tell me what you want. I'll, find something that'll work for it. Other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Keep getting inky and don't forget to have some s'mores. Don't worry, I'll plan on it this month. It's happening. I haven't done a s'more yet this month, or this year. This summer. I have done graham crackers and thrown mini marshmallows, because you know I get like the little graham crackers and throw mini marshmallows on them and put them in the microwave and put a chocolate chip on top and then eat it that way, and it's like a little mini s'mores. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye.